On the 1st of December, I received the news I'd been dreading. All the tests confirmed the diagnosis. Stage 4 pancreatic cancer. So this will be my last holiday season. Oddly, I'm at peace with that. I've lived a good life, and my loved ones will be taken care of. Being naturally private, I didn't tell my wife Lisa about the tests. I didn't want to worry her until I had concrete answers. So I headed home early to have the talk. When I arrived home, I saw the luxury car of one of my business partners, complete with a personalized license plate, parked in front of our house. This was unusual. I checked our home's security cameras on my phone and saw that the system was in privacy mode, not recording. I decided to leave it be and drove to our farm property to clear my head. Our camera system is primarily for security, and I rarely check it unless there's a reason. However, I also enjoy watching wildlife on the outdoor cameras and find it oddly calming to watch storms roll in. So for my amusement, I had set up a second video recorder to archive the footage to local storage, which isn't accessible via my phone. When I got to the farm, I opened my computer and checked the other server to confirm what my gut was already telling me. And there they were, Lisa and my partner, drinking wine, dancing in the living room, and then heading to the bedroom. Apparently, they had left the doors open because the microphone picked up their activities even after they left the camera's view. Learning about Lisa's infidelity shattered me. At the farm, as I watched the footage of Lisa and Brad's intimate moments, my emotions became more complex. This incident was not just a betrayal, it was a blow I had to face during the final phase of my life. With the little time I have left, I wanted answers. But I didn't want the drama of a confrontation and divorce. Call me a coward if you will, but all the love and devotion I had for her evaporated that afternoon. I felt all the emotions you'd expect, but I know it's not my fault. I've been a loyal, romantic, and attentive husband. After discovering Lisa's betrayal, I chose silence over confrontation. In doing so, I faced all my emotions alone. I had lived as a devoted and faithful husband for years, but now that devotion seemed meaningless. I spent the days reflecting on our years together, knowing how she had betrayed me. During this time, my lawyer and I worked to uncover the extent and duration of her affair. What we found disturbed me even more. Either I had never truly known the woman I had spent over 2 decades with, or she had changed drastically over the years. Now I'm focusing on myself. I know what matters to me. I called my lawyer and we reviewed my will and our prenup. I told him what was happening and we worked on figuring out how long and to what extent this affair had been going on. What we found was disturbing. Either I never really knew the woman I shared over 2 decades with, or something in her changed drastically. For now, I'm not saying anything to my kids or Lisa. We never had children together, but I have kids from a previous relationship. I'm going to put on a brave face and get through the holidays, giving my kids and grandkids one last holiday memory with me. I'll be the doting father and grandfather and try to play the role of a loving husband. The holidays have always been filled with family gatherings for me. This year, Lisa's presence during our holiday would only be a minor detail. As usual, we gathered at the farm, celebrating from Christmas to New Year's. I wanted to spend this time with my children and grandchildren, giving them one last joyful holiday memory. Rachel and Tom, who have been part of this tradition for years, joined us again this year. Lisa's presence no longer held any significance for me. Our relationship had become merely a formality. As the holiday week progressed, there were moments when I found myself alone with each family member. These private conversations were both comforting and heart-wrenching. One evening, my son Daniel approached me while we were sitting by the fireplace. "Dad, you've been quiet lately. Is everything all right?" he asked, concern evident in his eyes. I took a deep breath, trying to mask the pain. "Just reflecting on life, son, making sure I've left everything in order." He looked at me, his expression softening. "We all love you, Dad. You've always been there for us. If there's anything you need to talk about, we're here." Tears welled up in my eyes, but I quickly blinked them away. "I know, Daniel, and I'm grateful for all of you. Let's make this holiday one to remember." On another night, my daughter Emily sat beside me, her face illuminated by the flickering flames of the fireplace. "Dad, there's something different about you this year. I can't put my finger on it, but I feel like there's something you're not telling us." I looked at her, my heart aching. "Emily, sometimes there are things we keep to ourselves to protect those we love. Just know that I love you all more than anything." She reached out and held my hand. "Whatever it is, we can face it together." Her words gave me strength, but I knew I couldn't burden them with the truth just yet. "Let's focus on enjoying our time together. That's what matters most." As the holiday drew to a close, I gathered everyone in the living room. The room was filled with the warmth of family, and I felt a bittersweet sense of peace. "I want to thank each of you for making this holiday special," I began, my voice steady. "These moments we've shared will stay with me forever." Rachel, my ex and a close friend, looked at me with a mix of curiosity and concern. "You've been our rock always. Is there something you're not telling us?" I smiled, trying to convey a sense of calm. "Just reflecting on how blessed I've been. Let's cherish these memories." Despite my initial decision to avoid confrontation, there came a moment when I couldn't hold back any longer. One evening, I asked Lisa to join me in the study. The room was dimly lit, creating an atmosphere of seriousness. "Lisa, there's something we need to talk about," I began, trying to keep my voice steady. She looked at me, confusion flickering across her face. "What is it?" I took a deep breath, the words feeling heavy on my tongue. "I know about you and Brad. I saw the footage." Her face paled, and she took a step back. I don't know what to say." I shook my head, feeling a surge of emotion. "There's nothing to say. I've already made arrangements. I won't be around much longer, and I want to spend my remaining time in peace." Tears welled up in her eyes, but I remained resolute. "I deserve better than this, Lisa. Our marriage might be over, but I won't let this define the rest of my life." As the new year approached, I found myself reflecting on my life, the choices I'd made, and the people who mattered most to me. Sitting on the porch watching the sunset, I felt a sense of calm wash over me. "I've had a good life," I whispered to the wind, hoping that somehow the universe would hear me. "I've made mistakes, but I've also loved deeply and fully." In those final days, surrounded by the love of my family, I felt a profound sense of gratitude.